Brian, this is my brother Dango, and this is Rolls and the Family. And today we are finishing our countdown of our top played board games of all time. If you missed number 20 through 11, what are you doing here?
Get back to the other video.
This is not where you belong.
Get out of here.
Start at the beginning.
Get in line.
Yeah. Maybe we'll link that. Maybe I'll remember to put it in a card or something.
Otherwise, we're pointing at nothing.
But, you know, we've been doing this YouTube thing for a little while, Daniel. I don't know if we know what we're doing yet, but
we're getting there.
We're still here. I think in the last video we said you could leave in the comments your most played game of all time. It feels like that would be if you didn't then. Now is a great second chance. Now's a great second chance to tell us about your or maybe what of our most played games is the one that you also have played or like the most. You know, that could be interesting. These are ones that these have seen some table time.
They got some wear.
They've got some wear. They've got some tear. All of mine here are up over 100 plays, Dango.
That is not the case for me, but I've got some good plays. So
okay. Well, Dango, we will have links to all these games below if you want to check them out in the description. Right. It's pretty reliable if you're watching a Rolls in the Family video and we talk about board games that you could go in the description and check them out for yourself.
That's right. Well, at least know that part of YouTube. Karen, I'm going to kick us off here with the number 10. You mentioned this in the last video, and I'll be honest, this might be the most surprising one for me, that this is the 10th most. I guess when you have a game, literally the game that we have had the longest, it's, the odds are it's going to get played. This goes to Carcassonne with 66 plays of Carcassonne. And, you know, Ryan, I don't know why, how it's still in the collection. Just you think about, like, we have gotten so many games, and we are very good about when we get games, we're kind of always evaluating, like, should a game go, and even though this one doesn't get played a lot anymore, I don't know, it still just has a spot, both in that, like, it's a nice 2-player experience. It has the option to go up to, you know, more players. I don't know if I would ever do that. I'd just have other games. But man, I know we have a lot of really great memories playing head-to-head Carcassonne, which I think is where it really shined for us, especially when we got, you know, we had base Carcassonne, and I think we thought it was fine, but it was really once we added the Traders and Builders, Inns and Cathedrals expansions that I think it was like, oh wow, this is actually like a really fun strategic game. Those just different pieces add, I think, just really inject some life into the game. And so, 66 plays. The box is worn, it is beaten, and yet it is still holding strong in my collection, Ryan. So that's my number 10.
Nice top 10 for Carcassonne.
I know.
My number 10 was in your last segment. I've played this one so much more than you because I kind of ended up having another group in my college years that really, really loved this game. And I'm so glad that we had that because it is a game that just rewards you so much for coming back to it, especially with the same group. And this is Tichu. I am up to 110 games of Tichu.
Tichu games aren't short.
And that's 100% in-person four-player games.
Full play game.
Full play games. Wow. There might be a couple in there that, like, because if I have a Tichu game that we can't finish, like we only make it to like 500 or 600 or something, I still count it as a play. You don't count it as like
0.6 plays?
Yeah, maybe I need to be a little bit more specific in my tracking.
People want accurate data here.
Yes. This is actually 108.37 plays of Tichu. Yeah, not one that I often am able to get the group these days for, though I have in the last year gotten it some, and you know, our sister really likes this game. I actually introduced it to her boyfriend, and so like I have like the potential for a local group that this one could see more play. Right. It's so good. It's so good. As far as I mean, we like card games, you know, and even more traditional card games, like just the style of game that these types of games are. But Tichu, for someone who's more of a gamer minded, wants to play these heavier strategy games, Tichu is like the one for me
Yeah, it
that
does
has
feel
felt
that way.
like it like earns it. I mean, we've mentioned it before that there are times where Tichu gets pulled out as the main event game for a night when there are many other main event games that could have been chosen.
Yeah, and with
the
like
group-
no regret.
And the group is like, no, we
Yeah.
want to do Tichu. And that, like, what higher praise can you have for this little
True.
card game? Absolutely excellent. You got to have you got to have 4 people, and you got to play it with people that you're going to be able to
Right.
play with again. But man, there's no card game better than it, in our opinion, if you're able to do that.
Nice, Ryan. My number 9, you mentioned in the last video as a game that we played a lot, got rid of. Who knows why? But now it is making a resurgence in a second edition that has really impressed me. This goes to Summoner Wars. I have 74 plays of Summoner Wars. Man, so many like memories of us playing this together head to head. And Ryan, I tell you what, this feels like a game that if they just, if this just popped up on like Kickstarter and got all the advertisement, people would be like, oh my gosh, this is what an awesome, like, oh, look at, the different factions and what a great design. Like, I feel like this game, I mean, obviously it's not like lowly rated on Board Game Geek, but it feels underrated in the
does
sense
feel
of
underrated.
people like just aren't thinking about it. And I think there's so many people who would love this amazing head-to-head tactical experience where the factions are so unique. I mean, I even think of the last play we had, like how to play your deck depending on who which faction you have is wildly different. And kind of the strategy around it. And there's a lot of depth to the strategy of this game and how to manage it's a game where you only go through your deck once. You don't like reshuffle. Once you're out of your deck, all you have out there is what you have left for the rest of the game. And also, you at the end of each turn are deciding, are you during the game, do you want to play the cards, or you can put cards down as magic, which magic is is the resource you need to spend to play cards, which you can also get by killing units as well. But that tension of resources to keeping cards to your deck can run out. I mean, even in our last game, like I ran out of my deck earlier and I thought I was going to win early.
And my strategy was literally, I think I can outlast him.
Yeah.
And have
and
more,
you ended up
in the
ended
end
up being
game.
able to. So, man, I wanna get this one back in front of people's minds because it is the second edition is great. I think the art is fantastic.
They keep releasing new decks. Like there's a lot. They've been supporting it.
I love it.
I think some people that are into these styles of card games are put off a little bit by the dice, like the rolling to resolve, and so you have to be okay with that. But it's a double-edged thing. Like a lot of people see that and it's like, oh, that's just like a negative. But it adds this like drama and certainty to things. Like with, you have to make bets, right? Of like, do I do this move? I don't know for sure if it's going to do this. And that can be just a very interesting,
that's a great
strategic
point.
landscape.
While the dice are variable, it does add a added layer of strategy around. Like, I mean, it's similar to games like Eldritch Horror and stuff like that. And why we like those games of putting yourself in the best position that you think, like, what is going to give me the best odds of winning here? So, yeah, I want to keep trying to get this one back to the table. It'll be fun as kids get older to kind of introduce them into this one. But 74 plays for Summoner Wars.
Nice. My number 9. I didn't play for the first time until this last year.
Wow.
So this is all within the last year, powering into my top 10 all time. But to say that this game has been a hit with our family is a bit of an understatement. This is Tumbling Dice.
Wow.
I'm up to 121.
That's a lot of games.
It is a lot of games.
Dice.
Yeah, because that's full 4-round score games. Now, granted, some of those are me and my son playing a 2-player game, which I tell you, you can play a 2-player game very quickly. But yeah, this one, I mean, it just our dad now has a copy of it. Yeah, we were just over there actually the other day and played a few games of it.
Right.
Just I think of any of the games on this list is like one of the easiest to get to the table with just about any group. Like it just is no barrier to entry to play
Right.
this game. Like if you're looking for a game that would allow you to play with like a group that spans people that you would never imagine could like play a game together,
It's this one.
like this one can
Right.
do that, and that can be so huge, like in just a group dynamic to
Right.
be able to have that experience that maybe no other activity really
Yeah.
could let you have.
Right.
And we've just seen it really deliver that for us. It slowed down a little bit. I mean, it was like out of the gate, it was all we were playing was tumbling dice there for a little bit. Slowed down a little bit, but it's still, I mean, this one's
Yeah.
going to climb on this list. Because I think it's one that's going to stick around forever in my collection and like is going to continue to see play. So at this rate, 121 plays in like what 200 days or
If
something.
you keep that up, Ryan.
Yeah, man, this thing's going to the moon. But for now, it's my number 9.
Speaking of games that are not going to the moon and their rate has dropped to 0 and probably will stay there. You know, Ryan, sometimes a campaign is long enough that one playthrough of the campaign will get you up into the top 10. This goes to Gloomhaven. Sitting here with 77 plays of Gloomhaven. This, you know, sometimes life just lines up in a way where I was, you know, in a season of life at graduate school and we had a day off on Wednesdays, and me and 2 other guys, like it was our Wednesday routine to play Gloomhaven, and it was incredible. You know, it's like I know there's like Frosthaven out now too, and it could be fun to do that. Honestly, I feel like I got everything I could have ever wanted out of it. I mean, it was an unbelievable experience. The game being able to, you know, go through obviously a campaign like that long is just amazing. And I love how it's, you know, you're through it. There's so many fresh moments of getting a new character and like the way the group dynamic changes as soon as someone gets a new character is huge. And then, but then you're upgrading the characters, and then you're, you know, going throughout this whole world. I mean, we ate and breathed Gloomhaven, and I feel like just got the full experience. And it's so fun to like, you know, you always wonder, are you going to be able to play a game of that scope? And, you know, it's hard in life to do it, but I got the window to do it, and it was amazing. So 77, I actually don't even own it anymore. You know, I had thought about like, oh, do you keep it around? Do you try to reset it? But it's like, there's so many new games out there that it's like, it's, you know, I got my experience out of it, and it was amazing, and don't want to sour, you know, such a good memory that you just want to keep
it's just locked in time.
Perfect. It was perfect. It was perfect for the season. So
Nice.
77 plays, which is more than you, right? You didn't.
It's actually quite a bit more. I
Yeah.
was actually looking. I think I only had like 49 or something.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I played most of a campaign.
Right.
Where
Right.
you were a little more thorough. My number 8 is, you know, it's hard for like, you know, sometimes we call them gateway style games or these very kind of accessible modern board games. It's hard for them to be the types of games that I'm going to want to play so this many times, right? And not get tired of it.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to predict which ones are going to have kind of, sometimes it's because of variability. Honestly, this one is not because of like crazy variability like we might see in other games, but this one is just a system that clearly I never get tired of playing within this system, and this is Ticket to Ride at 150 plays. And so much of that is back, you know, when we were playing it a lot, you know, around 10 years ago. But when I've played it in recent years, my enjoyment has not gone down like at all. Like this, I always talk about the tension between the different things you're trying to do in Ticket to Ride of like, you want to take more cards because that gives you more information to kind of master plan things out, but you want to take key routes because if you master plan too long, you know, things start getting taken. But you also want to take new routes even before you know, finish your other ones because then you can optimize how you integrate those into your strategy. And so I just love the tension of those things. I love that it's up to you how much you want to really push the envelope. And as a more experienced player, it's fun to just like go for like, I'm going to go for it in this. And sometimes that backfires. And, you know, Ticket to Ride is actually pretty punishing when it backfires because you get negative for the routes. But this, you know, of these 150 plays, I'd say it's probably the most on Europe, only because that was the version we had. That was our first one we got first, yeah. But then we played a lot on India. We had the India and Switzerland map. I since then getting the USA map have played the USA quite a bit, and now have the
UK
Great Britain and UK and Pennsylvania, which is also a lot of fun. And man, I wonder as kids get older if this starts getting played more, maybe I'll want to pick up some other maps for it. It just hasn't seen a lot of play.
I've looked at the Nordic countries one. That's
good for a smaller
like
group.
2 head-to-head kind of.
Yeah, 2 or 3 player. I think comes with purple trans. I don't think you can get purple trans in any of the other ones. But yeah, it's one that like if I'm ever with like my more gaming group, it tends to not be the game that like they're interested in playing, and it makes sense. Like there's a lot of other games, but it's. I don't know. It's just such a good system. And even after 150 plays, I still hoping to see this go up more.
That perfectly describes my number 7, Ryan. This is a game that I think both of us would love if it just kept shooting up and shooting up forever. Because I think to both of us, this is one of the best board game experiences out there. This goes to Agricola. 78 plays of Agricola, so it just beat out Gloomhaven. But... man, Ryan, this is a game we've had for a long time. It just gets better and better. You know, we did not back the new Agricola special edition.
We did get to try the irrigation,
which was very
in, like, private.
You know,
I don't know that we're allowed to talk about it, but
we won't. But it was cool.
But it was very interesting to try that.
Yeah, that. This game's just great, and you know, it's funny with the special edition because I think there's like 2 feelings. One, I am so excited that a lot of people are going to get to try this amazing game. And I hope, you know, like that, there's that. But then also I know like my enjoyment of this game it's way higher now than it was at the beginning. Like when we first played it, well, one, I was getting whooped by Ryan every time. And man, you could only take so much of that. Like, but it's one that grows, and so I do worry with like especially a lot of people who got like all the content of it. Like, are you gonna play it enough to get what
are you gonna put in the 30 plays to like really unlock this
it really,
because
that is where it shines. And so and that's why it's this high, you know, for me, and it's just gonna keep going. It's my favorite game, it's my wife's favorite game, it's your favorite game. It's a game that even though it's heavier, all of the people closest around me, including me, want to play it. So that helps with it just keep getting to the table. So it is my number 7, and one that I expect to just steadily keep on going forever and ever.
Forever and ever. Amen. Onward to a game that is another one that is pretty much stuck at this number. I would definitely jump at the opportunity to play this again if I had the opportunity. This is one that we played to death because it was one of our first games that we got when getting into modern board gaming. And so when you only have 2 or 3 games in your board game collection, you end up playing the same ones a lot. And that led to 168 plays of Dominion. And I actually think this is the one number on this list that is low. Like, I think I have untracked plays of this because I think Dominion predates tracking my plays. So it might even be a little higher than this. But yeah, Dominion, talk about a great game to get early on
Oh
when you're
my
going to be
gosh.
playing the same game over and over and over again.
know.
Because it is such a great game of randomizing what kingdom
Yeah.
cards are going to be out there and deck building of it. I mean, this was our intro to this style of deck building. I mean, it was a lot of people's. It's the game that basically invented it. But just, was part of what blew our minds in those early years of what was possible with board games.
Right.
And yeah, we played it a ton. We ended up getting the Intrigue set and the Seaside set and the Prosperity set.
Was
which
the
we really
Prosperity
liked.
the one that added the higher
Platinum and
that was
colonies?
That
Yeah.
was huge. That was really, really big.
Well, that just opens up so much more. Not only like the higher money, platinum is really interesting if you can work that into this, but the fact that there's something higher than province, and like it takes a different type of strategy to get something that can pay even that much higher. Dominion's great. I know there's a really good app for it now. Maybe that'd be a way to get the Dominion fix a little bit. But it's the granddaddy of the genre.
and I would still play it.
Oh, totally.
If someone said, "Hey, let's sit down and play a game of Dominion," I'd say absolutely.
Only got rid of it because it's one of those things where you just overplayed it. Like we played it so much, and then when new games were coming in, it was like it just wasn't going to be getting to the table.
Right.
There's
And
a
also-
point where it's
yeah.
like, oh man, I almost wish I still had
Well,
it. But
and it also I remember I tried to teach it to my wife, but because we played it so much, it's hard to introduce to new people and not just whoop them at it.
yeah.
So yeah, it man, good memories.
But 168 plays is still enough, even though those all happened.
yeah,
I probably haven't played Dominion in almost 10 years.
wow.
Still number 7 on the list.
Speaking of 7, my number 6 is Seven Wonders. There you go. I was going.
Good segue.
83 plays of Seven Wonders, and I still have it. I actually got to play this again. It was a few months ago, I think. Had a group of again, it was a situation of okay, we might have had it was 6 or 7 people, but people who all have played games before, and so it's okay. 6 or 7 people who are enjoy a little bit more of a gamery game, and I think that's where Seven Wonders just shines. And I am the biggest, supporter of simultaneous play. I think it's one of the greatest mechanics in board games because it just allows so much more game to be played in a short amount of time. It keeps people engaged, and this one does that start to finish. It's just a blast. I know it's the intro to, card drafting, and yet in some ways I still feel like it does it better than a lot of games out there. I think it just is excellent at that simple card drafting. Every time I get a hand, I'm excited. I feel like there's just different options of what I can go with, and combined with also when to build your wonder, or if you're gonna do that. I love the neighbor element of it, both when it comes to military, but also the resources that you have. What do you have access to, and do you go the route of just getting lots of money so you can borrow a lot, or do you go for lots of reasons? I just find there's, I don't know, a lot of different kind of ways you can go. And I think what's fun about card drafting is, obviously you're trying to maximize, but you don't know necessarily what's coming. And so
It's gotta
always
push your luck.
It's got a little bit of push your luck in it of how can I, and when it comes out just right, it just feels good. So 83 plays of Seven Wonders. Doesn't get played a lot. I think what's hard is, I mentioned, I think in the previous video, that maybe at our family reunion it could get played. I think other people around us have kind of outplayed Seven Wonders. They're when we bring it up, I find often,
which is funny because we've played it way more than they have.
I know. Well, see, we're just further. We talk about coming back around on games.
Yeah.
They just need to wait a little bit longer, and then they'll come back around.
Well, I have found there's a lot of people that I've gamed with that are the type of people that just are more interested in trying a lot of new games.
Right.
And we like trying new games, but we are more in the let's find our favorites, and I want to just keep coming back to these.
Yeah.
The playing new games is almost like scouting. You're scouting to find those new favorites.
Because we want to play them a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my number 6.
Nice. My number 6 is an
7.
easy game. Yeah, don't confuse me. I got to do the right entry here. My number 6 is a game that's very easy to play many, many times. In fact, it's almost annoying to like actually log the plays because it's, you know, sometimes you're playing it very quickly back to back because the game takes all of less than 5 minutes to play. This is Clask.
Ooh.
Dexterity game. Reminiscent of air hockey, but using these like magnets and a little ball, and it's got the cool little white biscuit magnets that can hit and attach to you, and you can lose a point by getting 2 of those attached to you, which adds a really cool layer into this game. Just a really excellent head-to-head dexterity game that's an action dexterity game versus like a turn-based. Because there's turn-based ones like Crokinole or some of these, or Pitch Car or some of these where, you know, you're taking turns. But it is fun to have one that is just like, we're just going at it in real time. The ball's flying around. And it's the type of one you can pull out like in a group setting, and it's fun to sub in and out and have different people play. So this is one, it doesn't like... get played a ton, though. It's gone up a lot since like my son can play it now, and you know, we'll pull it out. But when you pull it out, you often play several times.
Right.
So I anticipate this one being one that keeps going up on this list. Again, it doesn't really have anything that's competing with it. Like it's kind of in its own category and can really, really rack up the plays. You don't have Clask.
I don't have Clask. It's one I've considered. Sometimes sometimes I'll see it out, people selling it.
I do see it show up secondhand.
Pick that up. But here's the question, Ryan. Why is Clask a board game, but ping pong not a board game? Is it just the size? Is it
my distinction is
what's the distinction
you
here?
Put it away in a box that we like
get a big
shelf,
box for your ping pong.
And
too.
when you take it out, you put it on top of the table to
That's
play.
the defining factor.
So it is like a tabletop game.
Okay. Just want to clarify here.
Just to clarify.
Very nice, Ryan. My number 5 is a game that I played a lot more. Well, actually, we played it a lot together. Then I played it a lot. And now you're starting to play it a lot. This goes to Heroescape. 86 plays of Heroescape for me. I'm looking right over here. I've got my bin of Heroescape, and I got the old stuff. You know, I got this isn't
which is cool.
New things.
The new stuff's compatible.
That is big.
If you ever get back into Heroescape and you're like, ooh, I want some new characters or something.
That actually is really smart that they did that.
Yeah.
I have incredible memories of this game. You know, it went through different phases. It started off we played it. I think I forget how much we actually played it.
It was during that era.
It was that era of, and you know, just we were playing it a ton. But then it kind of found a new wave in my high school years with high school friends where it was like, I mean, I had another buddy that he got Heroescape stuff too, and we would combine our sets. I mean, we would build these massive maps, like, and that was half the fun, like just coming together and like, what map are we going to build? And then people coming over and seeing the, you know, just, I think it
would be a cool toy if there was no game.
I know.
Right,
no,
like
for
with
sure.
the type of landscape you
just
could
to
make,
build,
and then the characters on it.
No, it is. And then so the fact that you can have an outlet for that kind of creativity, and then you get to play a super fun epic game of drafting characters and fighting and seeing the dynamics of the map that you made. Like that, I think that's what's interesting is you watch of like, where were the battle points? Like where did the key things happen based off how you built the map? I think that's so much fun.
Yeah.
So 86 plays of it I haven't played Heroescape in years. I mean, it's been a long time. But I'm going to get it back to the table, Ryan.
Maybe when we drive out there on a vacation,
that's true.
We show up and Daniel's already got a giant map, just blow Toby's mind.
Oh.
Here's the thing with Heroescape.
Cool.
So we almost always have played like battle to the death, right, on the thing. I think we may be sleeping a little bit on like more scenario-based Heroescape play. So a lot of the new stuff, like it has scenarios.
Interesting.
And we've tried some of it. And like Toby and I did one where it was like after a certain round, it was whoever had the most hexes occupied on this main thing would win. but if it was a tie, you would keep going another round.
That's interesting.
And so bigger characters, take
Yeah.
up multiple. And so everybody's like fighting over this thing, and it creates these moments of like, I have to get that guy by the end of the round.
Yeah.
And it was actually a very fun dynamic. And like the HeroScape system lends itself that you could literally make up
whatever you want.
any scenario. I mean, you could have it that like, obviously the glyphs let you do this, but you could have other things like this area. If you're over here, it'll trigger something, so there's just so much room for creativity.
Yeah.
And like, I love thinking about that also with kids of like encouraging them, like, hey, like
come up
with stuff.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Let's see. What was that? Number 5?
It was.
Number 5 is a game I've only actually had for probably 2 years now. But this is one of the games that really made me realize how much I was underrating games in the category of you can play in like 5 minutes. Like, it's not really a category you think about a lot when you're like shopping for new games. But let me tell you, it has been so perfect for so many situations. So this is Strike, dice game where you're throwing dice into arena. I've played it 188 times. And that's largely because you play multiple times in a row. But that's one of the big strengths of it with its length. It's not just about like, oh, it works in situations where I only have 5 minutes. No, it's that you can pull it out, and every 5 minutes there's the opportunity for people to drop or join. Like, there's so many more off ramps, or like, maybe we do want to keep playing for a half hour, but you have so many opportunities before that where you could decide that you don't. So it's just so flexible. And this one, it just really has been a hit with just the group dynamic it creates, and throwing the dice in. It has those fun moments of when you hit dice and a bunch of them flip to the same number and you get to take them out. Somebody's forced to go all in, but then they go all in and get something. So it's got just enough of that like crazy moment decision space that, I think keeps it fresh. Like, I'm not tired of it after 180 plays. Now, it's not like I'm like, my mind is blown every time I'm playing. It's like this light game, that you're throwing dice. But it is a great way to just sit around with a small group and casually chat and throw some dice. So we'll probably keep steadily climbing on here.
Yeah, no kidding.
It definitely had a lot of plays early because I got it for Christmas a couple years back, and we had a lot of like family opportunities to play that type of game. But yeah, 188.
Wow.
Up here with the heavyweights on my list.
No kidding. My number 4, Ryan, is also, we talked about that arc of a game. You play it a lot, kind of phases out. This one,
it's coming up a lot on this list.
This one is returning kind of fully for me, where I don't know, when I see this pop up on the secondhand market, I'm so tempted. Haven't jumped on it yet. This goes to Cosmic Encounter. Ryan, we have such good memories of Cosmic Encounter. I've played it 96 times. I know you've played it far more. But this game just takes, this system of battling for ultimately trying to get 5 colonies on other people's planets, but injects it with alien powers that just are insane and wild, and make the combination of the aliens that people have just every game feel so different. I think this is why we played it so much, because we were just exploring every combination created different types of moments. And I think not only do you have the alien powers, but the fact that you have the special card, what was it called?
Flares,
cards, that would get shuffled in. So like, if you got your own alien's flare, you got to do the super ability. But if you got somebody else's flare, like it let you do something that was kind of in the lane of their alien. We played this one so much, and I think one of my favorite things about it is it just created such fun group dynamic interactions at the table of, allying and, convincing people, or someone, says they're going to negotiate with you, and then they flip an attack, and now there's a betrayal, and like that has lasting impact. And just the game produced player interaction that was so much fun and is one why we played it so many times. So it's one that, like, I don't know, you definitely need the right group. You know, like, it's not a game that's just like, oh, this is just going to be a hit for everyone. You need people who are going to lean into, like, bringing that kind of energy. The game sets it up, but then the group has to kind of take it and go from there with it to have a ton of fun with it. But man, we sure did. We sure did. So 96 plays of Cosmic Encounter for me puts it at my number 4.
Wow. Well, my number 4 is also Cosmic Encounter.
Hey, I was wondering where it was going to land.
I am sitting at 189 games.
Okay, so almost double.
Almost double. And this was largely powered by, I talked about those college years. That what was that with Arkham Horror that we were talking about?
Yeah, that was a similar season.
But yeah, this was the game, or Tichu was the other one. But this was really the game that became my college group of friends game, and it's like a gamer's party game in a lot of ways. Yep. Like, it's got this like complexity to it that you're gonna need people that like power interactions and like all this. Like, it's not simple. But then you also have to be very okay with, this is a wild random experience where you're jockeying, somebody's going to come out. It's almost more the story and just like the dynamics that than the end result. But yeah, so many great memories. We've talked about how it almost feels like this game that can never deliver what it was for us in that season. When I was playing it often 3 times in a night, because now if I pull it out, it feels like so much more is hanging on one game of it going well. And it is a bit of a volatile game. Like, you can have games that just aren't as good. And
when like buying games, it's a good thing to know. Like, if you have, like, we had a smaller collection back then. And so we could play, oftentimes we'd play these games over and over and over.
Yeah.
And so games that might not land could just play it again, but that's harder in this stage of life now.
Totally. Yeah. And this definitely falls in that category of, I would only recommend it to people if you're going to get to play it with the same group many times. But here's the thing is, if you're someone who doesn't play games many times, individual games, there are games that you're missing out on what can be unlocked in some of these games from that only can come with that repeated experience together. So Cosmic has not seen a lot of play in recent years. It's hard for me to get, like, I don't really have that specific group that can get together anymore. But have managed to get it played a few times, and it's been so long that now you start to get that feeling of like wanting to introduce it to new people. Yeah, because it is fun to introduce. It's so unlike any other game. So even though it doesn't get played much, it feels like a lock in the collection for nostalgia, if nothing else. But we'll see. Maybe it'll sense a revival. I mean, kids.
Oh, I think a new group. Yeah, I think as kids get older,
that are
it'd be
to
great.
The point, like, because it's got such a fun dynamic with the aliens. So who knows? Who knows, Daniel?
My number 3, Ryan, is a game that you mentioned earlier in this video and is the staple of all staples. Some people feel like they have graduated from it, and yet for us, I think it's just gonna forever stay. This
makes it sound like we're still stuck in school. We've been failing. We haven't graduated yet.
This goes to Ticket to Ride. I have 126 plays of Ticket to Ride, and it's still, even amidst all the new games that come out, like, if someone asks me, hey, what are some of the first games? Like, I'm new to board gaming. What are some of the first games I should look at? This one's right there. And it's, I think obviously it's an easier game to learn. I think the USA map makes it, for those that maybe, if you live in the USA, maybe that makes it easier. I know we've got our, foreign viewers out there as well.
We're a global audience.
We're a global audience. Yeah. Well, there's global
I
Ticket
learned
to
a lot
Ride.
about European geography from playing Ticket to Ride.
That actually is true. I learned most of where the cities are just from that. But this one just has stuck around and is one that both is so easy to introduce to someone. And yet, Ryan, we still have that itch of it's so exciting to get your destinations and see how you're going to push. And especially if you have a game of 4 or 5 people, like, it is tense. And I think that's what keeps us, is we like games that are tense. We like it's more efficient if I just keep, taking cards here and like perfectly, but also I'm gambling of getting blocked and figuring out where are the key spots. Like, okay, I got to try to get that one because if I get blocked there, like,
but then that also tips my hand
and it's
a
also
little bit
tipping
of
where I'm
wanting to
going.
go.
Right. So you don't want to communicate stuff. I think it is amazing a game that we have played, this many times that we still enjoy, and I think that speaks volumes to the design of it. So it would be interesting. I still am like looking around at other maps. I don't have UK and Pennsylvania. I really liked that one as well. But
they're a little more exotic. Like, I know
Yeah.
the UK one, it's got all the like technologies, and you like can't even play like
Right.
3 or longer routes until you get the technology. So
Right.
it's one that like is fun to spice it up every once in a while. I feel like because I remember we used to play India. I remember that was just like another good, just like pretty
the
vanilla
loops.
nap. Yeah, and it had the thing with the
India
loops.
was tense.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, India was stressful.
It's still it's sitting at our parents' house, isn't it? I think our sister
know.
has
Yeah.
pull it out
I should
sometime.
just steal it.
I could go over there and take it. And no one would ever know.
Hopefully she's not watching.
You're watching this. I'm coming for you.
Okay, Ryan, that's my number 3.
Nice. My number 3 is one that would have made this top 20, a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I was like, it did.
And in fact, it did. But given the last year and my son absolutely loving this game, it is rocketed up. And honestly, this one I could see rocketing up to number 1
Wow.
eventually. We'll see.
Wow.
But this is Crokinole. I'm at 222.
Yeah.
222 plays, but I think over half of that is in the last year. Since, it's like my son's favorite
Wow.
game, and he's gotten quite good at it.
Isn't that literally what he said his favorite game was?
Yeah. You can go watch
we did
it.
it. Yeah, there you go. We'll link it right there.
It's on the channel.
Ryan will remember.
So yeah, and this is one that it has this perfect combination of like, it's a dexterity game that I'm never going to get tired of. Like, it's got kind of that evergreen quality that we talked about with a lot of these, like a Ticket to Ride or like these different things that it's just like, they've proven that like playing it more does not degrade it at all. And that's how I feel about Crokinole. The ease to pull it out, with my son and play games and play even multiple games of it. And as he gets better at it, it was a game that even before he was playing it, played with my brother-in-law a lot when he was in town. And when you have like 2 people that are evenly matched, it's just
like
so
us,
good.
right?
Yeah, just like Tango and I in this game. So absolutely love this game and love that I have the means to get it played so much now, because that wasn't true for a while.
And the means to buy it. My gosh, expensive.
Well, it actually wasn't. Back when I got it, I think I got it for $100 from like the Mayday Kickstarter. We've paid. There's a lot of games we've gotten that have exceeded $100.
That's true. 100's cheap now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's served us well. 222 plays on it. This will be interesting to see, Daniel, because it is on the rise right now. It's on the rise.
This next game is not on the rise, Ryan. It is quite
Dead in the water.
Dead in the water. And yet, honestly, we've talked about it earlier, but a game that I absolutely would play. This goes to Dominion. 156 plays of Dominion, and man, it's kind of insane when you think about how much variability content there is for this game. Like, we didn't get
still are releasing expansions
That's
for
unbelievable.
Dominion.
You know, there's
Yeah.
a world where you could get into the hobby of board gaming and only buy Dominion, and then just keep getting more stuff for Dominion,
Yeah.
and just play Dominion the rest of your life. You know, and maybe there's some of you out there that are like
Yeah,
that.
let us know.
It's just it's just such a great deck building system. And the way it, there's so many games have taken the Dominion system and kind of, done a different twist of it. I've played Aeon's End, which has, a little bit of that feel, and really enjoyed that. But man, Dominion started it all, and I think has held up so well. I mean, the fact that people they're still making stuff for it. Like you could right now, if you're listening to this and you're like newer to the hobby, like maybe go look at Dominion, Like,
yeah, I think a lot, especially people that were like in the hobby and played Dominion when it came out. I think as more games came out that like added on to that concept, it was very novel to be explored in all these different ways. But I feel like a lot of people have kind of come out the other end and gone back and been like, man, the purity of Dominion and how all of it comes through the card effects. And the fast, rapid play. I mean, it just
flies.
It's really good.
So that is my number 2. It will not be going up any higher, unfortunately. But 156
It'll take some
plays.
time probably for it to fall out of the top 10, though.
It will take some time. gonna need to play some of these games more to get up to 156. So
yes,
a great game.
Nice. My number 2 is a game that you have hardly played at all. But I have played a lot. Yeah. And I've had just different seasons of this game having the right player, to play this a lot. It's been mostly 2-player. I then got into playing it a little bit solo. I haven't played it like a ton solo, but that probably has added another 20 plays on here. I'm up to 262 plays of the Lord of the Rings, the card game. I got the core set for Lord of the Rings, the card game, right when it came out, I think in 2011. And at the time for Fantasy Flight, I think it was the first cooperative LCG, living card game.
Okay.
Like, I think at that point they had like the Game of Thrones one, which was competitive, and they had like the Call of Cthulhu, which was competitive. And so this was like kind of a new, like, oh, it's like the deck building of this style of game, all these cards, but you're a team, going against these scenario decks. And that was like really interesting. And then it was Lord of the Rings, which was a theme that appealed to me. Yep. So it wasn't one that I kept up with, like the living card game model of like buying the packs every month. So I got, a fair number of them that then I just like enjoyed playing. All the scenarios are replayable. And if you change up your decks, it really changes how it feels. A lot of the newer content, now that they're repackaging it and stuff, is leaning a little bit more into like having it more campaign playable, and actually having some stuff that you track, which is cool. I'm not really. It's a little bit one-off. I do. There is some of it that I do like, just being able to play a one-off. Yeah. There's, if I'm going to do the campaign stuff, it would be really fun to do it with another person. And I don't really right now have the opportunity that makes sense to do with this game. I have a campaign that I was going through solo, but it's just like, it's a little, I'm playing it two-handed solo. So it's a lot. It's kind of a bigger experience to pull out like late at night on, when I have opportunities to play. But one that I definitely will be keeping in my collection, would love to, I'll just say the same thing I say in every game. As my kids get older, I'll get my son.
We are hopeful
We're really
people.
banking
We really,
here.
If they don't like board games,
Here it
Ryan,
rolls in the family. Our mantra
we're banking
is
on our kids liking
create
games.
have family that you can get to.
That's right.
Play.
Most consistent gaming group.
Yeah. What better way to play more games than to home grow your own gaming and have them in house?
That's right, in house. Okay, Ryan, we're to the number 1. I mentioned my number 2 is Dominion with 156 plays.
I do remember you mentioning that.
You remember that? It was a long time ago. That's a lot of plays of a board game, right? 156. Well, how about you double that number? Ryan, what's double of 156? You have 5 seconds.
That'd be 3 or 12.
Okay. Wow. Dang. You cheated. And then add 1 to that number, Ryan. Okay. 3 to 13. That is how many plays I have of Race for the Galaxy. And so clearly a massive jump between even my number 2 and my number 1. But Ryan, I mean, gosh, talk about a game that I just like right now, Ryan, I can close my eyes. I can picture us sitting at our parents' dining room table. It's later at night because we've already probably played, Agricola like 4 times already.
yeah. Winding down.
We're winding down and, the warm light of the lamp there. And we are whipping out our just go-to game.
Especially during like school years and like once I was in college, like there were just so many opportunities where we had a little bit of time at the end of the night.
And when you play this game this much, each game, how long were we playing it in? Like,
we got to the point where these are like 15-minute
15-minute games. And yet, even still, because I remember, I think it was last Christmas, we got to play another game of Race for the Galaxy together.
Last Christmas.
That was
played
good.
Race for the Galaxy while watching the Nuggets game.
Oh, that was beautiful. And I think we were again just reminded, this game is so good. It's just like to play a game 313 times and still just every time it's just an incredible getting that hand of cards, figuring out what you're going to play. Your cards are also your resources, so like balancing that, the set of action cards that each of you select and you do the primary, and like it's honestly mechanics that you see other board games do, like every single part of it. Lots of other games are doing things like that.
Though a lot of them may have stole it from Race for the Galaxy.
No, totally. Race for the Galaxy was kind of the first one. And yet, even, again, maybe this is similar to what we were saying with Dominion. It feels like Race for the Galaxy is so streamlined in what it's doing. And it just does it perfectly. When we get to the end of this 15-minute game, I feel like I have done a lot in building out my tableau, and there's different strategies and watching your opponent. Like if they're rushing, that's going to change how you're playing, whether you're going for military or a victory point strategy or 6-point developments and all of that. We've gotten some of the expansions for it. Some of them I like better. Some of the elements of them I like better than others. But just core Race for the Galaxy, 313 plays, and I just want to keep playing it more. And that's the biggest testament to a game that's been played that many times. So I will now hand it over.
In fact, my number 1 is
how
Race
many
for
more
the
times
Galaxy.
have you played it than me?
You said 313, so I've got like 14 plays without Daniel.
Okay, that's actually not as bad as I was thinking. It might be more,
because I don't think you've ever played it without me, right? Like
I don't think so. I think I tried once with my wife. That was not good.
Yeah. So this is almost exclusively Daniel and I 2-player together, and I think it's in this category now that if we're gonna just the two of us play something that's just like a low demand comfort food game, it's Race for the Galaxy. And yeah, it is interesting. I mean, it's obviously like other games on this list in that category of games that haven't degraded over time. Like it just really has held strong.
Including the cards. Like talk about
impressive,
good card quality.
Yeah, because they've never been sleeved or anything, and it's like a linen finish, and they still are great.
Right.
But yeah, it's such a fun little puzzle every game to get these cards and figure out how to manage your hand. That's both your things that you need to spend, but also the things you're trying to keep, and kind of playing off of your opponent and what they're going to be doing, but then trying to work together this little engine. And there's different ways the engines might look. Sometimes it's about going really quickly. Sometimes it's about getting just really big cards out. Sometimes you're much more in the I'm trying to produce and consume strategy, which is this whole other rhythm that you're trying to play in a way that isn't helping the other player too much. And yeah, we've just had a blast with it. And even having played a lot of other games that maybe are in this genre, I won't say there aren't, one. It's like things are different, but nothing's quite gives me the feel that Race for the Galaxy does. And maybe that's just the extreme familiarity with it.
And this was a game we got early on. I mean, I think wasn't it like Lost Cities? Didn't we get those like at the same time together? Yeah. We had no idea what this game would be for us.
And I remember the first plays, it was kind of like, this is weird.
Yeah, I know.
And
that
like,
was, yeah.
it took a little while to like wrap your
There's a
head
lot of
around.
iconography.
And we hadn't
There's
played a lot of modern
yeah.
board games at that point, so it was like really
Right.
kind of
Totally.
you know, if all you've played is Small World Dominion and Killer Bunnies, it's like Race of the Galaxy was
This
a
is
little
very
bit of
different, right?
yeah. But here we are, you know, mama, is it 16 years later?
Oh,
16, 17 years later? Holy cow, dang.
that's crazy.
But it reigns king on this particular list. I think I have some games that could catch it. Like when we talk about
well, you're not playing it much anymore.
the Crokinole, yeah, and it's not seeing a lot of play. You're gonna have to do some work, I think, to see it. But man, for now, Race of the Galaxy sits atop the list.
So these were our top games that we have played the most in terms of number of plays. But if you want to see us talk about the games that we have invested the most hours in, the most time, the most blood, sweat, and tears, we've got a video right here where we go through our top list for that. I got another video here as well, but we will see you in the next one.